I think I am.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Acro Flame. Gonna bring you another acro video for y'all today. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. This is a brand new channel that I'm starting, but I want to try to put as much content out there as possible. When it comes to acro, it is probably one of my main hobbies out of everything that I like to do, especially physical activity wise. It's just a great all around kind of physical way to get your body out there, mentally prepare yourself, just for anything and everything. So with acro, we talk a lot about communication, trust, community. So there's just a lot of things that are discussed in acro. I've been doing yoga for about 5 years. Discovered acro probably about 2.5 years ago, and it's totally just a game changer, to be honest. It's just a fun place to be with friends, with good people. So today, I'm gonna be, well, in probably most videos I'll be doing one-on-one sessions and breaking them down and talking about what we do in each move and what they're called. So right now I'm going through a series of flows, or what we call washing machines. This is Catherine's wheel. So we start in bird, we go into a shoulder stand here. As you can see, in our shoulder stand we flip back over into a seated throne, go and get into a loaf with the foot, and every flyer is different, every base is different. So the cueing that I'm going to be describing is basically just meant for this flyer and myself as a base. So we went over Catherine's wheel a few times. It's a pretty challenging move. Catherine's wheel is probably like a good intermediate move to start, or intermediate washing machine to learn. It takes a little practice, you know. I think I started learning that one maybe a good like 6 or 7 months into my practice. So let's see what we go through here. So going into star, and I believe we're gonna go through 4-step. This was the 4-step. I recorded this video once already. For some reason it didn't save, so we're gonna try it again, see what happens. So 4-step, flyer needs to bring their knee down. We kind of practice going into like an L sit, and then we go into a back bend, and we go back up into star. So I believe we got this the first time, but then we tried to go through it a second time, and we couldn't seem to manage it very well. So it's interesting because sometimes, these moves are easy to get down, sometimes they're harder to get down. It's all just variation of how calibrated you are. And I think I had only worked with this flyer maybe like a few times before we did the one-on-one session. But we were confident enough to not have a spotter this time around, which it's always encouraged that you have a spotter when you're doing partner acrobatics. But we felt confident enough. I have the crash pad there. I've invested money in the crash pad, so that way, we can do acro on our own time and still feel safe about it, and make the other person feel comfortable, and just it helps a lot too. So see what we run through next here. And it looks like I'm practicing the L sit here with the partner. So when I practice the L sit first, you want to make sure that your hands are squeezed into the hips. So both the flyer and I are both squeezing into the hips here. And I'm not sure if we get it this first time, but I'm kind of describing to her that we need to squeeze into the hips, and that creates just a less one other area that our hands cannot move to. So instead of them moving from outside to side, that'll just be one less area for them to move. And as you can see, she brings her hips back just a little bit, but I don't think she brings them back far enough. So instead of them being directly in line with your sides, your hands being directly in line with your sides, you kind of want them to be a little bit in front of the hips. It makes it a little bit easier, so that we actually have something to push into. So here you can see her hips are back. She's coming into a tuck, and then her hands are a little bit in front of her. And it just gives her something more to push into. And then we balance a lot through our forearms or through our hands using that acro grip. And that allows us to adjust our partner's balance through there. And really the base should be the only one balancing, so it's really a lot about how the base balances the flyer, making the adjustments through the wrist, making sure that the partner is okay and comfortable with the wrist grip.
No more.
Let her fall.
Yeah.
It's fall season, alright? Damn. Shit. She's a leaf too.
Yeah.
And I believe we're going to practice that one more time again here.
Alright. Come down. Alright,
So yeah, I want to thank y'all for coming by the channel again. Like I said, this is going to be a brand new channel. I'm getting started to introduce some introduction to acro videos, or mainly just breakdown videos that I have stored right now, and some newer videos later as well. But as you can see, we're going to go through the full move here after practicing that L-sit, and this is really where the L-sit comes in, right about there. And then as the flyer comes through to the back bend, and then into star. So you can see here that as we go back into star, we completed the washing machine fully. And I do believe we're about to try it. Oh, I think we're going to do the pops down. Oh no, we're going to go through it one more time. See if we get it. Oh, not that time. So we always want to be the first safety net for our flyers as well as bases. You want to make sure that you are that safety net for your flyer if you don't have a spot, so that they can pretty much just land on top of you safely enough. And everything was okay there. So let's see what we jump into next. Oh, okay.
I don't know, was it? Maybe.
I heard him.
So it looks like what we have here I believe we're doing that same move again, that same 4-step move. So our start positioning looks pretty good. Oh yeah, this was the pop down, the Icarian pop up and down from straddle bat to shoulder or to star. So from straddle bat to star, the hips need to be still forward from going into straddle bat at least. The flyer has to push a lot through their hands here. The base's hands are straight the whole time. But as we do the pop down below to that straddle bat position, the flyer has to push a lot through their hands. So her elbows could be bent a little bit more here to create a little bit more of a pop down. Because see, when her hands come out, or then both of our hands come out, you know, so probably needs to be a little bit more bent through the elbows there, but we were able to get that. And so now I think we're going to try popping back up, which you really have to push through the hands when you pop back up. So let's see what happens here.
And watch from going backwards, because I have a feeling we're gonna want to tip backwards. But yeah, crunch for this position.
So I'm gonna leave. Oh, and then we yep, we don't make it that time. So, but everything's okay. No one's seriously injured. We are okay.
Yeah, and I don't think I caught you enough on the shoulders. So I caught you on one shoulder, just not.
It's a challenging move, y'all. Acro is not easy, so
So let's start in straddle
You definitely have to be continuously staying fit, which is one of those things that I practice on a lot. I like to do regular gym sessions. Acro in general is good for the legs. It's a good leg workout. And then also do some rock climbing, strengthen the hands a little bit too, which is another great workout as well. But this all around is just kind of one of those practices that your body has to be really conditioned for everything. This flyer actually does a lot of aerial silks, so she's already really strong when it comes to the upper body.
Also, I want to make sure that I'm not like hurting your ear either. Like,
And that makes it easier as a base too if you have a flyer that's
I know how piercings are.
pretty well fit.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
I've had this.
Makes it a little bit easier to base them sometimes, so
I've had this.
good stuff.
Okay.
All my piercings are really well filled.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, hopefully if y'all are curious about any acro in your area, the best way to look up acro in your area is to search on Facebook. And what you want to do is search on Facebook. You just want to type the major city that you live in and then type in AcroYoga next to it. And usually there will be a group that has created a Facebook page, and y'all can get everything, or you can join the group and request yourself to be in there, and they will approve, hopefully, and you can go check out some of the jams that they have and to get started. It's just a fun community, to be honest. Everyone's really open-minded and free-willed, and you know, it's a good place to be. So would encourage it if y'all have a chance. Go find your acro community near you and join.
That's it. That was it.
That was me.
And I'm sure if you're like a regular yoga practitioner that you probably heard about it a little bit more. And some people that practice yoga haven't done acro, you know, they've seen the posts. It's all over Instagram, which I'm going to leave my IG handle down below, AcroFlame. Y'all can go follow me there. But other than that, it's different than yoga because you're actually involving yourself with another human. And once that practice gets really developed, then you just have a better connection with people sometimes too, you know? It's a lot easier to build connections, or, you know, with yoga it's very self-aware, like with understanding your own body, which is good. It's good to know that even before you get involved with acro too, is how is my body reacting to this, or what am I feeling in my body whenever I'm doing this move and that move. And that will help you with acro, because then you know what to explain to your partner and explain to them a little bit more about how to be patient with you, you know. And that's really one of the things is just being patient with your partner as well when you're practicing with them. So we're trying to get this pop down, but I believe the hips are coming back a little bit from the flyer's perspective, and you really have to push a lot through the hands to slow down the pop. Although the pop is like up and down real quick, you want to push the hands to slow it down a little bit more too. And what I'm doing with my feet is I just open up and close right in. So that was actually a really good one. So it was a quick pop down. Yeah, feet just open up from the shoulders and then close right back down on the hips. She has to stay piked the whole time, and she holds her shape. Actually, someone was giving me some really good advice today, especially with working with newer flyers and kind of explaining to them, you know, is to hold your shape and don't have any, don't let the flyer have any like expectation of where you're going either, you know. And it's basically just like, hold your shape, my foot will be there when it gets there. And because if they try to get ahead of you, then it's harder on you. So you don't want to get ahead of your flyer, you don't want to get ahead of your base if you are a flyer. And that's just really one of the things, is the communication aspect. But even so, like, you shouldn't have to have, if someone was just explaining to me, is that like verbally you don't even have to communicate that much. If the flyer is just holding their shape, then they can know exactly what you're going to do next by where your feet are moving. So it was a very interesting concept the way that he explained it. I was flying him at the time, and he was from a different community, so that's also one of the things, is that we get a lot of ideas from other people in other communities when they're in town to visit. Then they bring ideas to us, we share ideas with them, and so we can just kind of figure out like what everyone's doing in all the other communities, and you know, how can we better our community, you know. It's really, really neat.
We were both like
So that was one of the things that I need to be a little bit more aware of when I'm coaching flyers, is that they have to don't have the expectation of where we're going with our next move, and to kind of to remind them to just hold their shape, and that when my foot gets in the proper place, that they will know where to move, right? So if I'm tracing up their spine, or if I'm tracing up their side with my foot, they know that the next move is going to be there. And then once my foot is on that hip, they should know that it's there, you know. So it's one of those things that we really don't have to use that much verbal communication sometimes, and we can kind of just direct with our hands and feet. So here we're doing a big Lemoy, I think twist or turn. It's a fun move. Oh, this is actually sit and spin. So sit and spin is a little bit different than big Lemoy, but they're all kind of very twisty, turny rotations. I actually learned these from Acro Climber. I probably have a few videos with him that I'll be posting as well. And he's a great teacher as well, too. Learned a lot from him. So these were a few moves that I think I started off learning from him. So fun, challenging, but very fun for the flyer. Usually the flyer really loves these moves, like the twist, the kind of twist and turns, spin. We call them like the spin moves, the goofy foot moves. Pretty much, your feet have to do a lot of like penguin, pigeon toed kind of things too with it. Kind of funny.
It's just like I feel us like tilt.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Should I like bring my legs apart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Further apart.
Yeah.
Further apart. Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, we're working through Big Lemoy here, trying to figure it out. So as I start putting out more videos, y'all, I'll be doing a little bit better more editing with the videos as well. Maybe some further instruction to kind of get us through these things. But for right now, this is just kind of a documentation of some of the videos I have, and to just kind of verbally explain what's happening here. So if y'all want to see more, comment down below. Tell me what y'all are interested in seeing. Are y'all interested in seeing tutorials? I know there's already a lot of tutorials out there. Or do y'all just want to see how we play together, and that too, you know? But y'all can follow me on Instagram at AcroFlame. Share this video, comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm gonna try and be releasing a lot of content here lately, and getting all these videos pushed out, because I do have quite a few of them. So I hope y'all are enjoying them, and I hope to see y'all next time. I hope y'all have a great one, and I believe that is it. Bye.
That's good, dude.
Okay.
I think I can settle for that.
Alright.